Hi, I am Abhinav Gorawara. I am managing partner of ProHealth Asia based out of Hong Kong. We've been growing ProHealth across the region in Hong Kong, China, and Singapore. India is obviously a very fast growing market. The growth of the people are becoming more fitness aware, and as a result, there is a lot more wear and tear. And I think the opportunity to bring a world class physiotherapy to India is a very big gap in the market, and we can fulfill that gap. Uh, India is also my home country, and I am very closely associated to a lot of sportsmen who have talked to me and said that the need for a high-end physiotherapy will be great in India, um, and therefore we have started from Delhi. Uh, India is a competitive market in everything, very high population, but it also comes with a lot of competition. I do understand there are a couple of high-end physiotherapy clinics already in Delhi. As I was looking to invest into India, I've spoken to many people across India who have all been asking us to start a center in different parts of India. So the need is there, but the people are starting to realize that need. As a market, it is very price sensitive, which is the way India has been, and therefore we have to understand what is that price that will attract the right clients, and we are still able to provide the international level of physiotherapy that we promise to provide to people. But it's a competitive market, and it's a challenging market to do business in. So what we have to do is a lot more of education. Physiotherapy is not only about curing people's illnesses and aches and pains, which always happens and which is 80% of the business. So we do a lot of rehab when people have post-birth, women's health. People once they give birth, physiotherapy is a very good way or fast way for them to recover. We do all knee rehabilitation, ACL rehabilitation, so a lot of rehab business. But what we also need to do is a lot of education and explain to people how you can do things to prevent injuries. That's the education, that's where we'll differentiate in the market. I don't think there is enough people who are talking about ergonomics, just your posture or how we sit. You can be sitting in the same space for 10 hours and you'll enjoy yourself. You might be running in the gym for 2 hours and you think you're fit, but if you spend 10 hours sitting on a table, on a chair, you will enjoy yourself. So these are things which we have to educate to the market, which is what is preventative healthcare. I'll give you my own example. I I used to play a lot of sports, and I had back pain. My doctor told me it's not because your back is weak, it's because your right side of the body is a lot stronger than your left side of the body, simply because you are predominantly a right hander. So that leads to we normally exercising more on the right side and less on the left side, which is exactly what you should not be doing. So my physiotherapist told me that you should be doing more weights on the left side and less on the right side. Your body has to be in balance. And since I've been doing that, I have had no back pain. So people would think back pain is caused by some back injury. It is actually caused by body imbalance. Yeah. So this is what the differentiator has to be, is to educate people how to how to not only become fitter but healthier, and do the right things for their own body. And I think that will be really appreciated, and I think that will be 20% of our business, which is focusing on preventative healthcare. Well, obviously we have to train the physios, the people we are hiring. We have a world-class team across Asia. We have hired some of the best physios that are available in India. You've already spoken to them, but it's an ongoing process of education. So we have built a ProHealth Academy that boasts some of the best physios in Asia. We will be having them come down and give on each vertical that they are specialist in, whether it's dry needling, whether it's ergonomics, whatever verticals they do, they will come and speak and teach all the physios. We'll also have this over time. We want to have this vocational courses for other physios in Delhi. We are very open to other people coming in training under our program. It's a ProHealth program, but the way to grow awareness is to also be the trainer who can teach the other trainers. Well, my biggest challenge honestly was to find the right business partner. Coming into India, you need to be in business with people who can execute and you can trust, and I feel I'm lucky that I've found somebody. I've been looking at this for last 3 years. So India has been a market that we wanted to enter for 3 years. It's just taken that much time to find the right person. So that was the challenge. The other challenge is, I think, is brand awareness, because obviously ProHealth is something which is known in other markets. We have to increase the brand in India. And the third thing is education. India is a very fast-growing market in many places, but and there's a huge amount of young people here. It's one of the youngest populations demographically, one of the youngest societies in the world, yeah, and surely in Asia. But people need to get aware of not only trying to lose weight but become fitter and healthier, and that's the challenge. The education part. Physiotherapy was always looked upon as a place to go just because the doctor tells you to go to physiotherapy, but it's a standalone business. People need to come to a physiotherapist to understand their own body. Now that part is the challenge for us to make people aware. This question has been asked. Obviously, now that we've entered India, and if first we want people to understand what we do, and if they embrace what we do, then plan is to expand to 4 5 centers in the next 3 years. I don't believe in having 10 centers even if we could afford it, because we need to deliver quality. If this does well, then the next center, and it might be just because of ease of work, it might be Delhi only, and Delhi leads to Gurgaon and Noida rather than going to Bangalore or Chennai. And maybe we'll franchise it out someday. If we do well, we have 7 centers, 8 centers now. We have a center in Manila coming up. Maybe as a company, we'll start franchising it out, but that's not the plan right now. But next 3 years, which is I think a realistic forecast, we want to have at least 5 to 6 centers within wherever the demand is. And I'll be realistic. I think it'll be North India, maybe South India if I find the right business partner.